Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Linda's Stamp and Escape. Thank you for joining me this evening. Today is Tuesday, the 5th of July. I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday. Just waiting as some of our people pop in here. How is everybody tonight? Am I live? I don't know. I can't get a thing going here. Oh, there we go. Are you there? All right, we have people joining us. All right. I see Barb and Vicky. Wonderful. And there's somebody else. Not getting my comments coming out here, but how is everybody this evening? A little warm out there, isn't it? Yes, 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 yes. Okay, hi Cheryl. There we go. Hopefully we'll get real-time comments coming up soon. There we go. All right. I'm excited. We're playing with something that has been tucked in the drawers for a while. You know how that goes? We start collecting so many goodies that some things get tucked away. And it's actually a shame because these watercolor pencils are very nice to use. Watercolor pencils to me are a great basic tool to have in your stamping kit, and they are great for brand new stampers. You can get that nice watercolor control or look with a lot more control than if you're using like a paintbrush or the aqua painters, or which are now I believe called water painters. So, hi Dawn, thanks for joining us. Thanks everybody for popping in tonight. All right. So, our watercolor pencils are found on page 126 of the annual catalog. So, that's the big one. So, they are with the rest of the coloring collections, like your markers and the pastels. But if you're looking for the tools to go with them, I think they're on page 129. So, yep, 129. You will find your blender pens, your water painters, and some of your tools that you will need. And one of those tools you'll need is the Stays-On ink pad. That's right. That works best when you're watercoloring. The Memento pad will bleed, so you don't want to use that one. You want to use your Stays-On. So that's the one we're going to use tonight. And Stampin' Up! Has 2 packs of watercolor pencils. So you can tell these are a little old because it has the old packaging. But hey, they last. So there's all your basic colors in this one. You'll get your Daffodil Delight, Old Olive, Real Red, Pacific Point, your gray, black, white. So, and then here you get some more of the fun colors. Cherry Cobbler, Cajun Craze, Crushed Curry. So I like this one here when I'm working with fall colors. They even have Gorgeous Grape in here and Night of Navy. So you got a lot of choices in here. Makes it easy to work with, but I would recommend this one for your basic kit. So get the first assortment because that has your core colors on. All right. So tonight we're going to be working with the Blessings of Home. You did see one of my cards. This was on my blog today with some watercoloring techniques. So we're going to go over how I did some of those and a few other little fun tips here. So set that aside, and I got my die out. So this is a bundle, and I think this bundle would warrant a free celebration set or paper or whatever you pick. And guess who doesn't have her celebration catalog sitting right here? Well, that is not good. So I hope you all have your catalogs. If not, give me a call if you do not have a demonstrator and you need one. I would be more than happy to supply you with catalogs. So, all right, let's pull out. So, yes, I'm naughty. I still have my aqua painters. I have quite a few of them yet, so that's why I'm working with those. But I will be getting the water painters just so they look like everybody else. I do have some paint brushes that I, purchased too, so you can really get different looks when you're playing with watercolors. So these are a lot of my flat brushes. I don't know if I have any of the, oh yes, there's one. A nice pointy tip one. So when you start getting really into watercolors, these are really fun to work with. So we're not playing with those today though. That might be a whole different video. So, okay. And you see the new In Color jewels here. That is what I'll be giving away, a nice sampling of those tonight. So let's begin with our colors here. I'm going to pull these out. And for my card, I'm going to be using Old Olive, real, oh no, not real red, the Melon Mambo. It's going to look a lot like the, wow, where did I put my Mambo? I'm going to cry if I can't find it. Razzleberry. Interesting. It's not in the box. Why does that always happen at a live? Well, you know what they say. Pivot, punt, whatever. We'll come up with something. We always do. Okay, so we're just going to set those aside. Because right now, I'm going to grab just a scrap piece of paper. Now, we do have the watercolor paper. However, that is being shipped to me as we speak. I don't have it with me right now. And when we're talking like you're first getting into watercoloring and you're first getting your pencils here, you want to start out simple. And I think the best way to start out, like I said, is with the basic one here and then blender pens. And then the paper I'm using is the shimmery white. And I don't know if you guys can catch the shimmer on this, but that's what we're using tonight. And that works good with the blender pens, and it works fine with your water painters as well. So I'm going to kind of just show you how you can work with those. So, and when you're doing pencils, it's all about layering, and not just layering several colors, but just layering a color is going to give you quite the transformation as well. So here you can see I'm light, and as I come back up, I'm just going to go a little darker, and as you go up, you just get a little heavier. You know, bring back those childhood memories of coloring, because that's basically what it is. So you're just going to color, and you can get real heavy if you want to, and go back down and get light. And I'm going to show you some different things. That's why we're making it a little bit Well, I'm doing 3 of them here. All right. Let's get this a little darker up here. So let's get that blender pen out. And some of you who have been along stamping as long as I have, 22 years or more, remember these as one of the best tools we ever started with. So on this one, we're going to just start at the top and work our way down. And you can see that nice transition it does. And you can actually keep going because we all know that's how you clean. You are going to need some grid paper, works nice. You'll need either a old towel or some tissue paper or something else to work with. But to clean off your blender pens, you just drag them and then you're ready to start the next color. Now, let's try one starting from the bottom and working our way up and see what that does for us. There's not a lot of difference, is there? Not really. And then we can just bring this back down and lighten it up as it goes. So you can see when you're working with the blender pen, it doesn't make a lot of difference whether you're going up or down. But let me grab another one of these. And just go light and dark. And we're going to grab our water painter and we're going to start from the bottom. Now, to me, the water or aqua painters are going to give you a more soft watercolory look, even than the blender pens. But the blender pens work nice. So see how that came out? You started down here, so it's nice and soft like it was, and then you just got into that dark stuff. Now watch what happens, though, when you start at the top and work your way down. A lot different. It's a lot bolder. So I would suggest, if you're using the watercolor, start at the bottom and work your way up. And we all know that you can add more if you need to. And isn't that cool? When you add to that wetness, you can really bring in. Less is more. You can always add, but it's really hard to take away. So you get a softer look with the water painters than you do with the blender pens. But again, blender pens are a great place to start. So the technique that I did on the cards. Oh, can I do one more thing? Let's just show how much fun it is to blend. We'll take our blue again, and we're going to come down here. And of course, those of us from Wisconsin are all Brewer fans, so, or you should be. We're going to mix them two together. All right. So on this one, we're going to take the painter again, and I'm actually doing opposite of what I just told you, because I want to catch that green and really start to mix it. And once I hit that, then I'm going to go back in and I'm going to start down here and work my way up. Because if you notice, down here I was dark and here I was dark. So we're just going to kind of group those together till you get a nice color. And you can always add more in there if you need to get a little more of that green. So it's fun to mix your colors, and you can layer your colors even as a single color. And Vicky's probably going, she's probably wiping that pen off on her pant leg. And yes, Vicky, I am. Most of you know I always wear black pants. Oh, I'm always wiping. It's just habit, because, and it Hey, my legs are right there, so what can I say? All right, so that's just a nice little tip to show you the difference between using the blender pen and your aqua painters and how you can mix your colors. So now we're going to start here, and we're using this flower, same one as before. And I don't know why I froze here. Are you guys okay? Vicky says no surprises. Okay, so that means my computer froze, but you guys are still going, so that's all right. Okay, so you know I am going to ink this up, rubber up, and ink pad down. This cover should be saved. Don't ever throw that away because that helps keep your ink pad moist. And this one I do store upside down because that keeps the ink to the top of your ink pad. These are not by Stampin' Up, so they were not designed like our regular ink pads where they Stampin' Up automatically does that for you. So make sure you store these upside down. And always have an ink refill around. There we go. Now we got that nice and inked up. We're going to put that cover back on. And again, we are working with that shimmery white. Put that down there. Get a nice press on there so we get some good color. And I suggest cleaning off your StazOn as quick as you can. I don't believe Stampin' Up sells it anymore, but we used to have StazOn cleaner, and you can pick that up in other stores. Another thing we don't sell are these fun little, okay, help me out, ladies. My mind is lost. So, pencil sharpeners. Told you I don't throw anything away. So I still have those. And they were great, so I'm not sure why we got rid of those. So anyways, we're going to take this. I sharpen this because I want a little bit more of my pencil sticking out, because we're going to do a watercolor wash technique. And we're going to do that just by swirling some of our Pacific Point over here around our image. And we're going to do that first because we're going to be using the water painter with that one. So it's going to make it a little wetter. When you're using the blender pens, you have a little moisture, but you have a lot more control because it's not rolling or, you know, dripping off your page. So that's why I think it's such a nice tool for beginners. The watercolor pencils and the blender pens. It's a great way to start with watercoloring. All right, so you see just a little blue on there. All right, we're going to get that painter back out, and I am going to come in here and then just work my way in. And again, I am just swirling this, and in no special way and no special edge. I'm not squaring it up because we do want it to look like watercolor. So there's going to be little spots that are darker, which is good. And then you can bring it out. Get in there. Want a little bit of that blue in between your... So I'm going to pick up a little color here and drop it down. That's another nice thing about those pencils, is you can pick up the color from one spot and move it very easily. So we got a nice wash going here. It's going to come out here. Move that in. we'll get to some of the coloring techniques as we go in. And then you'll see some layering of color. That nice little swirly edge just gives you a nice soft watercolor. You can add a little bit more water if you want to blend out your edges a little, but I don't think we need to do much. All right. Now this didn't bleed through or anything, but it does warp your paper a little bit. So if you want, you could tack it down, but it doesn't bother me. And I'm actually going to start in with the center of my flower because that is already dry. Cheryl said, push the paper up a little bit so we can see that. Can you see it better? You can see the little wetness there. So you can see it's still wet on some of the edges, and that's just really going to give it a nice soft look. All right. So now I'm going to come in with the pencil, and I'm going to go nice and dark right here, and then I'm just going to swirl some color around. You can always add, remember? Now, I'm I don't know where I put my melon mambo. That's just, maybe I switched packs here. Let me just look at that second pack. Maybe I stuck it in the wrong one last night. Because, you know, we do things like that once in a while. If I had them all pulled out. Nope, that's Flirty Flamingo. Well, that might be fun to work with, too. So, flirty it is. I'll tuck the rest of those back there. And do a search for my runaway watercolor pencil. That's just odd. That's razzleberry. Only live, right, ladies? Only live. Actually, we all know we can sit in one spot and we'll never even find our taper. Okay, so let's start. We're going to do Flirty Flamingos. I'm going to bring that down here. I'm actually going to color the whole petal in real quick, just so I have color. It's a little lighter than the Melon Mambo, of course, so it's going to look a lot different than what this one looked like. You can see that is nice and bright with that Melon Mambo on there. So we'll see how this one turns out, because now Linda's winging it, and that's okay too. So now I'm going to take Stampin' Up's design, and I am going to follow that with my Flirty Flamingo and get that nice and dark right there. And then, while I'm just playing, I'm going to take a little bit of this, is our Rich Razzleberry, and that's that nice dark pink. So I'm going to take that and go around my edges. So I'm actually blending color before I even get it wet. Now, instead of going in the middle of the flower like I did here, I'm going to go just on the tips here. And this should give us a fun little orangish color, right? Okay, bring that in. Some of that in with that pink, remember, because we colored pink first. And yes, you can layer your colors fun like that. All right, now blender pen, and I'm going to start with my light color, and I'm going to move that down. And if it tends to fade away, then I can always add more, remember. So we can do that. We're going to get that color coming in, and now you're going to see a little bit of that orangey color because it's going to start blending with that pink. Ooh, this is actually turning out very cute. Very nice. I'm going to pull that raspberry just up around there. There we go. And that is cute. To clean it off, remember, we're just going to brush this out. And I am going to add just a little bit more of that raspberry right down here. Now you can see it's a little damp yet, so it's pulling in some of that color. So now we're just going to gently bring that in there. And this color palette was not planned, just so you know. But it's turning out well. There we go. That is cute. Now let's go in and hit this one and just really get that nice pop of yellow in the center. That brings that out really nice. Now I'm also going to do this one, yellow. And I'm just going to lightly put a few yellow spots up there. Now I want to show you a little trick. Anything wet is going to activate your watercolor pencils. So don't be afraid to use your Wink of Stella to do that. Now see how that flower is pulling a little yellow? We got a light yellow flower there. And you're going to clean that off just like you do your blender pen. I'm not going to do the center, and I want my tips to be almost white. So we're going to leave that just the way it is. Okay. Now for our little flowers here, watch this. We're just going to put a little dab of pink in the petals. Come in with our blender pen, and please don't leave your blender pen open like I just did. And just that little bit is going to give you enough color for those little bitty petals, right? And you can pull some from there, and then we're going to come in, do that yellow again. Cute. We are almost done with this already. That went really fast, didn't it? All right, sorry, dropped one. So we're gonna grab Old Olive here. And just like I talked about how we went in the lines to do this, that's how I do my leaves. So these I'm just gonna add a little color here. The small ones can be a little lighter. And then I'm going to use Stampin' Up's lines to go a little heavier. And don't be afraid to leave white spots, because then you'll have a light and dark shadows, which happens. We're going to get a little darker next to the petals here, as if they were creating a shadow. And then bring that out, because our leaves are actually, you know, different colors. Be inspired by nature. It's so amazing. God paints us a beautiful picture every day. All right, now we're just going to wing this down here. Look, it doesn't even take long, does it? Because it's a watercolor pencil and you have so much control. And when you're done, it just looks so cool. Now, you could do this with the water painters, or you could do it with your blender pens. But since we're talking, you know, new to water painting, clean them off, then we are definitely going to want to use the, you didn't see that, did you? Just tried to put the blender pen cover on my watercolor pencil. There we go. Okay, now this one here, I'm going to take and blend out. So you get a light spot over here and dark on the other side. Gonna add a little dark right by that petal, and see how that creates that nice shadow. So you get like that little shadow effect there, and then you have light spots. You'll get that here as well. It's amazing what these blender pens can do. Plus you always have, you know, the shadowing that Stampin' Up! Already has on their design, so that helps right there. So even if you forget to like layer and all that stuff when you're first starting, it's okay. And don't be afraid to go out of the lines. Remember, you're watercoloring. So yes, if you forget to layer, you also always have that coloring from Stampin' Up! So there you go. Bothers you, always, you can always add more, because it just, once this is damp, it just flows on there really nice. Okay, and I want to show you one more fun thing you can do. Let me move this, and I'm going to clean the green off my brush, and I want to get just a little bit darker in here. So you can take that color. Now you have pinpoint accuracy here, because you're going to just use your tip to paint. And as if you can, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm actually just dotting this on, not coloring, not moving in circles, just up and down little dots. And that way you can come up a little bit, and you're not getting too much. Remember, less is more. We can always add, but we can't take away. And look at what putting that deep dark color right in the deepest part of that flower just did. Gives you so much more dimension, yet your paper is still flat. There you go. That, actually, I like that flower better than this one, almost. And the watercoloring turned out really nice. My plan for you, my friends, was to cut this out with the die just to give you another look. Okay. So, and I did do it. And I just wanted to show you. So here I did a full background. So here's the card that I did ahead of time, which was going to be like this one, but now I'm going to make another card, and I'll show you what this card will look like tomorrow on the blog. So you'll get this on the blog, and we might do a repeat of that one, but then you will see this one as well, and then I will make a total new card for you tonight with that one. And you know what? The Wink of Stella looks so nice because this already has the shimmer, because remember, we're using the shimmer paper. So it looks so pretty, and I'm just going to add a little extra shimmer here. And then I want to show you another tip. So grab this. We're going to move these out of the way. And you can put extra dots of your Stella on here. Oh, it doesn't show up much because this is already so sparkly. So, yeah, it'll give you little dabs of Stella. So, you might see a few of them in there. But this one's nice and sparkly. So, gorgeous. And the reason I picked the shimmery white is because you get so much more of it. So, when you're starting out, you won't feel bad if you throw a piece away like you do with the watercolor, because you get a little less with the watercolor paper. So that's why get the pencils and get that blender pen, and you can use any paintbrush, or you can get the water painters if you like, but this is a great way to get you started on your watercoloring. Now, each Tuesday this month, I will have new watercoloring techniques because it is World Watercoloring Month. July is. So I'm going to focus all on, and then I'll also feature a new bundle or stamp set each Tuesday as well. So again, this was Blessings from Home bundle. This is now carried over from the last mini into the big catalog, and it's still a bundle. So that's really cool. So you can save 10% because it's already bundled. And then don't forget, with that purchase, you can choose a celebration item. So that is my demo for tonight. I hope you enjoyed watching all of this with the different blending techniques. And don't go away because, of course, we have our spin to win. I missed everybody last week, so I went back to the week before. It was a small group that week, but we still got names to pick. So we will do our spin to win and see who wins a sampling of our 21 to 23 in color gems, which is what you see on this card. So, all right, ready, ladies? Get those names in there. Good luck, everyone. Drum roll, please. 3, 2, 1. Why, Miss Barb Wallish, congratulations. So, yes, I know some of you ladies who have been stamping with me also have all your watercolor pencils. So you're right, Barb, it's time to get them back out and start playing with them because they are so much fun. So I thank you again for joining me. If anybody's watching from YouTube later, I will have a list of the ingredients and stuff in the comment section for you. Or you can hop over to my blog tomorrow and I will have everything posted on there for you. So again, congratulations, Barb, and thank you all for joining me tonight. Happy watercoloring. Good night.